Hello everyone and welcome. Today we'll be taking a look at a couple of highlight viewer submitted matches of StarCraft 2. Our map here for the first match is Persephone. The upper left corner shall be a blue Zerg player. It is Timbo. And the bottom left corner, the red Terran with a interestingly placed first supply depot. It is Dark Star. Much scarier than Light Star because you can't see it, right? I'm sure in the void of space. This depot though, this is something that we all can see, and we might have to make fun of Mr. Star for this. Is it the same? Oh my god, it's the same SCV. Talk about job security here. Okay, this one SCV, he's the depot SCV, alright. He's the only one licensed credentials to build supply depots. He knows exactly where the shelves go, what canned foods can go on the shelves, where all the stim packs are kept, all of that juicy business. The barracks close to home, just similar to the first depot, where there's one depot, there's usually more. This, I believe this tells us all we need to know about the level that we're looking at here, and I'm gonna say, quite excited. I'm going to do something perhaps a bit more rare. I'm feeling generous today. Of course, the holidays kind of coming around. It's the season to be nice, I suppose. I'm going to go with Nicegos, where we're going to be polite, where we're going to be professional, where we might make fun of them for just very minute things, but overall, we're going to say, keep on enjoying StarCraft. Okay, we're just going to have a good time today. Mr. Star here with a severe lack of orbital command, but consistent worker production, which might be more than I can say for some of you. Triple barracks, a common choice after triple depot. Reaper, a little ambitious perhaps. How's our Zerg player doing? Zerg, I'm pretty sure I saw hatch, gas, pool. Right now the only thing they're really suffering on is the consistency in rally points for their non-drone units, but overall, I would say going pretty well, pretty fine. They got an extractor. I don't think they've actually mined anything from it, though. We do kind of want... Okay, no, we're getting there. Okay, we're getting there. It's okay. We're gonna get the gas. We're gonna get probably Zergling speed. And then we'll have to see where things go from there. We're around the time that you should be taking a third hatch if you're doing a legitimate Zerg build. Are we thinking? Really? Guys, the Zerg player. I promise, this is not a live game. I'm not talking to them. Okay, this game was played a fair bit of time ago. This is one that my replay picker dredged up from the depths of my dead-to-me replay folders. I remarked on the Zerg player's lack of rally points. I will say we're even, actually. The Terran player not quite sure what to do on that front either. The NG Bay timing slightly early, of course, but +1 attack is not something I can punish them for. Okay, they know the value of their upgrades. We're long distance mining from the natural because red number, bad number, of course. Thank you, Blizzard. It's okay to put a few extra workers on here for the time that you're building the building, of course. It's okay. You're not going to lose a lot from this. What you might lose a lot from is the Zerglings. The Reaper's quick to jump into action. It's a lot of Reapers, actually. No, don't move. Don't move, command them. Oh, God. It's such an unnecessary slaughter, but the Reapers will actually come out on top. That is not an orbital. I was going to say, is that an orbital I hear? No, Indigos, don't be foolish. Don't be silly. I got attacked by Zerglings. You know what beats Zerglings? You might be thinking, anything? Yeah, probably. But you know what really beats Zerglings? planetary. Yes, if your answer was planetary fortress, I may have found a kindred spirit for you. We have a natural planetary. Okay, I'm enjoying myself. We have speedlings coming across the map. This is not going to go particularly well. Even in the wrong hands, Reapers tend to deal with Zerglings decently well. Planetary will deal with it far better, I will say. The Reaper's unfazed, uncaring. The Zerg player appears to be going for a bit of a surround. They will catch one of the Reapers here. Going for a lair behind though. The Reapers fire their first shots. The Queen trying to block the ramp, mostly successful. Blocked by her own machinations. The Reaper starts to block her from blocking the ramp. It's a block. Yes. Blockchain, something methodology in there, I'm sure. We've dealt with the Reapers. Are we now forbidden from making Reapers for the rest of the game? Zerg player droning behind this, I will say. Well done. Props to the Zerg player. Repair. I don't think it's needed, but okay, they're doing it. They're getting there. The Marines show up as well. To the defense. The planetary survive. See, aren't you glad you made it a planetary fortress? Now, it has 17 kills already. Make a wall? Nah. Bunker? Nah. Who needs that? No, not when I can make my command center blast them. Okay. I think I've earned the right to speed this up slightly. I saw the time on this replay. It's about what you would expect from what we've seen so far. Things are looking, I would say, fine enough, though. Will the Zerg player unlock the strange and terrifying technologies to deal with a natural planetary fortress, or will the Terran players survive the onslaught long enough to stumble and trip their way into an army that can actually win the day? This is the story we are going to witness unfold. Factory production unlocked. You are, of course, not allowed to build factories until the third tower defense wave has been successfully routed. The Marines starting to line up like a retail store on Black Friday, I suppose. Oh, no, we're rally points. Like, at what point? Ah, there we go. Okay, I was gonna say, at what point, does the barracks just stop putting them out? Barracks is, they can't open the door. They can't even get out. I'm pretty sure I've seen that once or twice. Marines gunned down a local overseer. He was just trying to oversee things. News reporting for the Zerg, of course. Banelings with centrifugal hooks. That is a dastardly successful decision from the Zerg here. Going for Hive before the 10-minute mark. I will say, I like the timing, sure. Drone count's a little low to be doing this, but you also have 4,000 minerals in the bank, so I can't even really bring up things about the drone count. Maybe put some of them on gas. Maybe that's what we need here. Just switch a few of them around to gas. We're going for a Spire. We're going for Hive. The timing, not too shabby. Are they going for what I hope they are? One thing that deals with both natural planetaries and siege tanks alike is the lovely Lord of our brood. Yes, Baron Broodlord. Lingbane, Broodlord. As much as I would love to say it's going to be Vipers, I really don't think it should be Vipers. From what I have seen so far, I'm going to say we might be a little bit off from me recommending Vipers. The tanks are not sieged up. Oh no, don't put them into the tank. Okay. Wow, they almost get the command center. The Lings move in, siege tank. We start to deal with them. The SCVs trying their best to repair. Upgrades coming in. Very nice handiwork for the Terran. 1-1 done for the bio. They will just barely survive. I actually really appreciate the 0 micro put out by the Terran. Can we just take a moment to offer them a slight round of applause? They were unfazed. The only thing they did They put the tank into siege mode and set the SCVs to repair. Planetary to be constructed, of course. But other than that, they did nothing. Those Marines, those Marauders, they stood their ground. Okay, and there has to be some level of appreciation for that. A greater spire is on the way. We are getting to witness the story unfold. I do have a tip for my Zerg player here. Overall, Zerg player, you've been doing fantastically, I will say, for the level that I'm surmising this is at. You're doing great work. You've got your drone count. You know how to make bases. It may be a little bit more on the Vespene side for drones, but my tip, my recommendation, the Banelings. Okay, I saw you selected the Banelings here and you rolled them into the tank. Not quite the most efficient usage. Banelings, you don't actually want to just have them attack move generally, because then they blow up into the first thing they come into contact with. It's much better if you control the Banelings manually. You send in the Zerglings to attack. Most of the time the Marines will be then distracted by the Zerglings. You manually control the Banelings and move command past the army. You want to move command them around so that the Banelings get a bit more surface area. They go around the Terran's army. And then if you are ready to actually attack and connect, you can just do something like an attack move or a stop command even, and then they'll roll into the enemy. But you want to try to get a bit more surface area so that instead of running into this siege tank, maybe you get some more Banelings around here and you can touch the Marines. Marines hate being touched, especially by Banelings, I will say. That's my pro tip, my recommendation. Just move command the Banes past the army to get a bit more of a surround. I saw you trying this with the Reapers. Okay, the Reapers and the Zerglings, so you know how. I know you know how. Just gotta get there. Hello, Broodlords. I managed to monologue and tangent myself into a actually legitimately terrifying premise for this Terran. Wow, they are going for it. They know their upgrades. Okay. Dark Star nearly maxed out here with 146 army supply and +3 attack done. By the 15-minute mark, no less. That's not actually, I will say, that bad. The tanks are all sieged up. The Ling Bane move in, connecting with the Marauders. Again, I'd really like to see them hit things other than Marauders and siege tanks. Just imagine the Banes hit the Marines here. These Broodlords would be fine. They'd be safe. But that is not what we're going to see here. I think they'll still be okay, mostly because the siege tanks are helping out with friendly fire. And the Marines get a little bit distracted. The Terran, like, can I get the Terran's action cam here? Oh, they're trying. Okay, they're trying their best. They're moving the Marines in. They should be able to clean this up now. The siege tanks, the friendly fire. Oh my god. The friendly fire from the tanks is causing more damage than I think the Broodlords were doing at the end there. They do eventually hold, though. +3, +2 Marines, and +3 attack siege tanks. Like, we don't have stim. That's adorable. We don't have stim packs. We got combat shields and concussive, but we didn't get stim. Is it because stim hurts our Marines, dear Dark Star? The medevacs do not exist. We're making starports. I'm sorry, we have starports. We're going up to 5 starports right now. Okay then. Yeah, and the one upgrade line, of course, we did not get was the plus air weapon, so we are quickly rectifying that decision. They take a 4th base. Oh, come on. Don't do that. Dark Star's probably like, I have never seen that before. Oh, they get to it, though. The Marines, the bio shows up. We'll deal with that. We probably should repair this in some capacity, but also, by the same token, you know, you got to punish the command center for not being a planetary and trying to shoot the Corruptor. Like, the Corruptor's an air unit, though, Indigos. Planetaries can't do that. Yeah, but the size, I mean, the guns would be up here. The Corruptor was right here. Like, at least try, okay? Better to have shot and missed than not shot at all, I suppose. That's how that saying goes, right? 12 siege tanks, Vikings. That's what we're deciding on. The problem was the Broodlords, Indigos. You see that, yes, I did deal with the Broodlords, but at great cost. 52 of our brave Marines went to the slaughter in dealing with those Broodlords. It's a lot of Zerg. Don't get scared, Zerg player. There you go. Handle it. There you go. You're doing fine. Corruptors have not yet turned into Broodlords, and I do not think the Zerg player is quite aware of the tech switch here for our Terran, who has stepped on the Viking pedal so much. We have positively gone back to Nordic raiding times. We are at 27 Vikings. Is it an overreaction? Probably. Is it appreciated? Absolutely. Okay. Well, we're gonna have another round, another engagement here. I would probably send in the Broodlords first. Just throwing that out there. That's a lot of siege tanks. No? No, we're gonna do it all at once? Oh god. Okay. Oh no. No, 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 no. Wow. And then the Broodlords go in. Okay. Not even all at once. We're just gonna send in the absolute holy Viking. My dudes, it's a slaughter. It's a bloodbath. 39 Vikings take to the skies and shred their way through the Zerg. Well, hello there, dear hatchery. The orbital command finds the hatchery. The Viking fleet shows itself. They are 2-3 in their upgrades, but full-on 5-5 in their confidence. Landing down, do not have smart servos. We probably shouldn't anyways. That would reinforce some bad decisions. Holy Zergling, Batman. This might not actually go well for the Vikings. 42 Vikings, 114 Zerglings. If you had asked me how this was going to go, what I'd be looking at the 22-minute mark at the start of this game, I don't think that would have been on the bingo card. Actually, a pretty nice position. Don't focus the hatchery. No, don't. Oh, God. You're doing it. You're losing it. Well, there you have it, folks. 39 Vikings brought low by 114 Zerglings into a no GG tap out. That's fair enough. That was something. Okay, that was a trip. I'm gonna say well played, well done to the Zerg. Made a lot of fantastic choices, decisions. Some minor things with like the attacks and the execution of that, but overall the macro is more important, and the macro was looking pretty darn good, I will say. Yeah, wow. Okay, on to the next match. The second match of the day will be played on the map Reclamation here, a 2v2 match to wrap things up here. Team number 1 shall control the upper left corner. It shall be a red Zerg player, Knight. And their light pink Terran ally, it is Paprika. Showing off that this is a custom game, light pink is not the pick for a 2v2 ladder. The team number 2 here, the bottom right, teal SCVs of Speedy Rogue. And wrapping it all up here, the purple Terran purple SCVs of PGO. Or Pigo. Perhaps. Holy Terrans. We got 3 Terrans. Ik Gavor. RPR rush. I am going for a Reaper rush. Obviously. Tanks and Hellbats. Wait, they said that in all. Somebody said the Reaper rush in all. They're the Zerg player. Wait, what? Okay, maybe my translation's not quite on point. Maybe I'll go with I am scared of Reaper rush. Perhaps. The pink Terran says tanks and Hellbats, purple and teal, thus far silent in their responses. How will they go for much of anything? There are no Reapers, I will say. If anybody was going to go for a Reaper rush, they have since decided not to, because everybody's kind of just doing their own thing. Teal going for quick command center, pink just slightly behind. Purple going for some rather quick defenses, going for the wall, barracks. Quicker factory. Red, as the Zerg player of the bunch, is just trying to happily drone up, of course. Think we are fine while everybody's macroing up. We get to see their plans unfold. Pink, we already can surmise, wants to go perhaps for a bit of mech. Is feeling tanks and Hellbats, which is a fine combination as long as they don't have anything that lingers quite above the ground. You know, a stray Liberator or Battlecruiser might cause some hellish issues, but thus far, nobody seems to be going for that just quite yet. The factory sitting on the reactor is going for double Hellion. Infernal Pre-Igniter, our lovely, beautiful blue flame. On the way for the light pink, who has not built any Hellions yet, I will say, but just now getting it started with their second factory. Marines find Overlord, will quickly deal with it, summarily executed. Y'all are boring. APMs, yeah, you guys, I'm not going to be able to make as much fun of you, apparently. Everybody's kind of going for their thing, and it's a team game, so it's always kind of a mess, kind of a disaster. The beauty of team games. We will see. Red certainly knows their drone button. I do like that. Close to 50 drones now. Roach Warren on the way. Ling Speed about to be done. Defensive Spine Crawler. What are you afraid of? Terrans, of course, Indigos. That's a good answer, I suppose. Terrans, they're quite mean. They're quite going for the drones since 2010. Go, 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 says Purple. Purple, that the team number 1 was moving in for the attack. And the Purple, I'm guessing, spotted them just very slightly before they were ready. A lot of Hellions have been made. Are they going for it? They are going for Blue Flame as well. We get to see not just one, but multiple mech Terrans, it would seem. Mechanomics professors in here. We got Teal with just a boatload of Marines. Stim is done. 0 health insurance, so it's going to cause some problems. The Hellions will form a wonderful buffer and answer to the Zerglings. The drones! The drones in barrel. Hellions respond of pink siege tanks set up in a decent position, actually. At the funnel is going rather well. Teal decides to commit, push forward, will pay the price for this move. Siege tank of Teal sets up. Targets down, guns down the tanks of pink. Roach shows themselves. The Hellions make it, slip past the tank lines, get to the drone lines. Roach is here to defend. Oh, more than one now showing up. Defense will hold. Teal's tank makes the mistake, dreadfully unsieging far too early, far before its time. Pink moves into position, an unsieged siege tank attack, unlicensed, unsanctioned, but also rather necessary at this time. Teal continuing to stream across the map here. I actually don't like the decision. I don't think this is a good move. They lost their momentum. The Widow Mines are helping out decently, give a little bit of a buffer. I don't think it's enough Marines. Oh, the Widow Mines all focusing down the single same roach there, Cyclone, shows up to lock on, give a bit of anti-armor support. Do we have mag field? Not quite yet. Not quite yet for that plus versus armored I am mentioning. Battlecruiser spotted. Fusion core at the front line here. Cross it off the bingo card, lads. We had 3 Terrans. That means we had a lot of opportunities, a lot of chances for battlecruisers. I'm going to have to go with that was kind of an easy one for everyone to nab. I'll be impressed if we get the Liberator bingo card. Okay, that's what would surprise me at this point. Widow Mines versus Siege Tanks. Usually pretty solidly in favor of the tanks. Well, we will see how that unfolds. How many drones did Red lose? 24 drones. Because it felt like the Hellions really got on top of them. Despite that, though, they're at 63 drones. Okay, fantastic. Red doing fine on the economy side. The roaches get a bit too close to the mines here. Hellion Cyclone going for the speedier battle mech. No, I'm not sure I quite agree with the decision. Up against things like siege tanks especially, they'd have to be caught out of position. If the tanks are kept sieged up decently well, then I don't expect a whole lot of opportunities. Unless the battlecruiser has something to say about this, I suppose. Now, roaches... I know, not quite the best answer, not quite the first pick or solid choice for dealing with battlecruisers, but they do try very hard. They stare angrily, they hurl emotional insults and attacks. Ah, that was the issue. You suck at building queens. Got it. Okay, so we had the drone counts doing fine. The problem is we haven't been quite paying attention to building queens. Only 3 queens by the 9-minute mark. This is a problem. Battlecruisers will continue to be a nuisance for you. Hellions, likewise, trying to be as annoying as possible. Cyclones dealing with the Hellions of Pink. Battlecruiser will escape with 25 kills on it. Most of those, I'd wager, were drones. 52 drones dead. 3 queens, 5 hydras, and a partridge in a zerg tree here. Gone in an instant. Look, the base, it's empty. Okay, 0 on the mineral side here. Oh, disaster. Calamity has struck. That was a ping from Purple. Do they see? They do see. They know about this one. Okay. Well, that's something then. Purple's going to quickly move into position, try to deal with this. Just take down the rocks. Just get rid of the rocks. There you go. Taking down the rocks. We'll go for the hatchery. Purple continuing to ping. Says, Teal, get your shiny light blue butt over here. Red ping. Red knows about the attack impending. Roaches already standing by for the defense. I think at this point you're kind of okay to just lose the hatch, because you need to, of course, replace the drones you lost. You have this base to throw them at. I would say it's okay to give a little bit of ground here. Widow Mines continue to be a nuisance, as they were intended and designed to do. Teal unfazed by the siege tank fire, deciding to commit the battlecruisers. Get the jump on those siege tanks. You don't want them walking away from you, of course. A jump. The warp there. Thors show up, start to focus down the battlecruisers, which no longer have any semblance of warp cooldown. So that's a bit of a problem. Hellion Yamato cannon combo, though, will deal with the Thors. 1 battlecruiser still survives, will reign supreme, as the remaining defenses are focusing only on the ground forces. Do we have anything coming up? 7 hydras and anabolic synthesis, which is not good for battlecruisers, I will say. No, not good for fighting battlecruisers, that is. Really should probably help out the hydras maybe a bit more with their upgrades, their research, but I see that the Zerg player here, they don't want to make hydras. Okay, it's not about me wanting to make hydras. I'm have to make hydras, and that's so much less fun. Teal continuing their trend of bio cruiser production. Pink adding on quite a few Thors to the mix. We'll try to shut that down. I like the decision. They're trying to do their best with the anti-air, despite wanting to go only for tanks and Hellbats at the start. They're not afraid to pivot for the good of the team. A lot of Hydras. Now, how are they doing on siege tanks? Purple has 1, Teal has 5, so it's not a lot of siege tanks, I will say. Not a dreadful amount. The Hydra upgrades, not good if we walk into Widow Mines with them. I was worried about the siege tanks. Didn't know I needed to be worried about the Widow Mines too. Carnage, action galore this round. None of these players afraid to take small bites out of each other, it would seem. Scan goes out, will clean up the mines. Ultra scouts around and finds the rest of the Terran army. Stim goes out. Health insurance be damned. We don't need medevacs. Why would you make medevacs when you can just make more Marines? The Ultra, a bit hesitant on wanting to commit. I don't blame it with 3 siege tanks in the back and make quick work of it. The battlecruiser, not yet repaired. Probably should do that at some point. Certainly would be a bit of a help. Hellions weave their way around, find an opportunity. SCVs left undefended. Pink quickly, of course as quickly as Thors can, shuffling his way over to the defense. Not in time to save hardly any of the SCVs, nor will it be in time to actually catch the perpetrators who underwent this endeavor. Purple pinging towards the hatchery. Teal moving the battlecruiser around, finding some success dealing with the Ultras. 92 drones for the Zerg player. They certainly recovered that well. I do not like the idea of committing the Ultras into this engagement, though. The Thors need to... gosh, neither of these actually really solid options for just walking into the Terran army. We need things like Vipers, okay. Vipers, Infestors, even just a bunch of Zerglings I'd be okay with. Just something to draw the fire. Team number 1 is getting into the mistake and the habit of going for so many tier 3 units that they don't have quite the buffer. They don't have the sacrificial things to let the T3 units do their thing. Thors and Ultras, of course, powerful, strong, but usually need some type of help or defense. I see some adding in some Hellions. I haven't seen a whole lot for the Zerg. Making some Hydras. Okay, not bad. I'm okay with that. At least offer some ranged support. Is that it? Is it triple Evo? It is a triple Evo game. Heck yeah. Melee, ranged, and Carapace all at the same time. You've got the drone count for it for sure. 96. 78 drones lost. They're over 100 drones. Okay, Reynor, calm down. Now, okay, we're quickly nearing 200 drones for the whole game. Hatchery was, I see, attempted here. Terran has laid claim to that for quite a few minutes at this point. Teal, likewise, trying to take this. Could go for the SCV. Why do that when I can just warp in a battlecruiser? A natural choice. A solid decision there. Tanks set up. Purple trying to put the pressure on Red's outlying bases. We'll deal with the Ultras, forcing the Hydras to retreat. Teal makes a move here. Going. Red really suffering from having all the outlying bases. The curse of the Zerg, I suppose. It's so easy to take bases, you wind up expanding a bit too far, and then pesky Terrans come along and kick your sandcastle and try to ruin your day. How'd that warp work out for you? How'd that battlecruiser teleport go? Yeah, that's about right. The battlecruiser's gone a mere 10 seconds later than they would have before. Pink looks like they will be able to clear this out. We'll deal with Teal's army. Purple still wreaking a bit of havoc, though. The Ultras show up. Widow Mines trying their best to help out, slightly tickling the Ultras with their attacks. Siege tanks left exposed, Hellions in a full-on retreat. Ultras given the chase as best they can. 8 Ultras and not much else down here. +3 attack finishes just as the attack is over. Usually the best time, of course. Oh, who am I kidding? They're pressing their advantage. Trying to get a bit of damage done. Battlecruisers show up, will likely quickly regret the decision. Thor's focus fire them down, deleting them from the game files. Teal trying their best to keep some of the things at bay. Red decides to commit to the base. We'll get rid of the command center. SCVs not far behind if I have to wager. Thors doing their best. Again, waddling, shuffling around. Everybody, I'll say y'all are doing really quite well here. The macro's on point. Red still hitting the drone button. 100 SCVs, not quite fully employed, but still alive. That might turn out to be a bit of a problem. The composition's an issue for Teal too. Battlecruisers are not what you need at this point. Well, what do I need, Indigos? Personally, I'd go for a lot of siege tanks at this point. Switching into that, because you can at least deal with the Thors and the Ultras as they're getting closer. Thors are not known for their speed, okay? If you let Thors sneak up on you, it's kind of your bad. So I would say, as long as you keep your tanks in siege mode, deal with that. Bio is not a terrible option, Marauders especially. If you go anti-mech bio, actually Marauders are a really good choice given the presence of the Ultras too. I would say even just a full-blown bio composition. What are our upgrades like? We've got 3-2. Should be fine. Yeah, +3's on the way. They're just not wanting to go for that though. They're going for the siege tanks, I will say. They're going up to 12 tanks is not a little amount there. It is a decent chunk. They should be able to at least get something done. The battlecruisers at this point, distractions, which I can't argue. I mean, it gives something for the Thors to focus on instead of your tanks, instead of your bio forces. Purple, the Cyclones aren't a bad decision either to try to cut this down. But I do have to give a bit of favor, I think, to the red and the pink player. Their composition, their gameplay, they're working well together, it would feel. Red going for a bit of defense, runs the Ultras into the tanks, and will get on top of them. Pink, an SCV slaughter here on the far right side. Command center quickly dealt with. Teal trying to move to position to deal with them. Where'd the battlecruiser go? I'm guessing that was a battlecruiser. Was being the key word there. TVT unfolds in its grand siege tank versus siege tank form. Teal will eventually reclaim the land and then get rid of the command center Pink was trying to make. Although Teal comes at a cost, losing the base on the far left here. Purple struggling with a bit of a lack of income, it feels. They really only have this base mining, which is not nearly enough to support a Terran mech composition. Oh, maxed. There we go. Red announcing that they have made their 6 more on the way. Okay. Purple and Teal going for a bit of a last hurrah here. They're going for the siege tank route. I do not like this position, though. They're going to get quite surrounded by the Ultras. And with no front line, no buffer to actually hold the Ultras outside the minimum range, they will connect with the tanks. A GG goes out. Well played from Purple. I do have to agree. Really, everyone involved. Purple the first to tap out. I'd wager Teal will not be far behind at this point. They have fought admirably with honor and respect to their opponents, but at the end of the day, it is just not going to be enough, it feels. It's hard to let go, though. We all know, we've been there. Changelings. They caught even me off guard here. Ah, there we go. Okay. Recognizing the futility in trying to linger any longer, will give the win to team number 1, red and pink. Like I said, the composition was working pretty well. Their execution, they were working well together, just a bit more cohesion it felt. I would say well done, really, to everyone involved, though. An entertaining 2v2 match. Can I get a final drone count anywhere? They lost 119 drones, and they ended with 85. You do the math. That's a lot of drones. Okay. Overall, pretty darn nice. Plus, you got to figure all the buildings, too. Zerg buildings take up a drone, so we have to consider that. That's a boatload of drones. If you enjoyed, be sure to let me know in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a great day.